Recording in progress.
Hello and welcome to the Peak Endurance Podcast. I'm your host, Ron, and with me is
Isabel.
Isabel.
When together we are the Tates.
And we have the Tates. Welcome back to another.
The Tates who like to hate, is that right?
No, no, we
I was
don't.
trying to find something that rhymed. That was all
No.
I could come up with is hate.
Oh, I've lived.
The Tates that are your mates.
Yeah, that's better.
There we
yeah.
go.
I've lived, with things that rhyme with Tate for
What
a long
rhymes
time.
with Tate?
Well, I used to get.
I got Isabel Ross thinks she's the boss.
I used to get potato.
Oh,
Potato. Get it?
but that's not rhyming with Tate.
No. But
Didn't they go, Tatey, you're my matey?
no, they didn't. No, I used to get more with my first name than my last name, to be honest.
Yeah, you get old.
No, don't go there, don't go there.
Ronald
Yeah.
McDonald.
Yes, that's
I
the
do
one.
run, I do run,
I used
run.
to get that, that's an English thing. That's showing your...
Do run.
Yeah, that's
Is
showing your... Yeah, I used to get that a lot from... because that was the two Ronnies used to sing that.
Did they?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
So, I
Alright.
used to get that from British people a lot.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. Well,
Yeah, so you're showing your
makes
British
sense.
roots.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, welcome back to the Peak Endurance Podcast.
Now
where
we've
talk
figured
all-
out who we
all-
are.
All things running and others.
also not running. I
So-
mean, to be fair, Isabel was, not exactly a picnic either.
No,
Isabel necessarily on a bike, Isabel ringing, Isabella Rossellini. I didn't mind that
I was
because she
gonna
was
say that's-
considered beautiful.
yeah, that's not a bad one to be called.
Someone called me that and then I had to go home and figure out who she was. We didn't have Google back then. But the worst was Isabel Ross thinks she's the boss, and when even the teachers would call me that was a bit upsetting.
Yeah.
So I had to tell them to stop
I was going to say you
it.
had to enforce being the boss.
Yeah, that's right.
Love a stereotype.
Yeah. Anyway, so updates. I have been busy. I have started for my Infinite Potential business, which is Sports Mindset. I have started a podcast. And it's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, the two best podcast platform, whatever the words are. So check it out. Infinite Potential, just me. Waxing lyrical on all things sports mindset, and I've also done it as, of course, because I've recorded it as a video, it's also on YouTube. Once again, very creatively under the same name, Infinite Potential. Just Infinite Potential. I haven't done sports mindset for that because it's just getting too long. And I'm also starting, I clearly have too much spare time on my hands. I'm also starting, you will be getting new extra podcasts soon, just short episodes. They're more for YouTube, but reviews of different products, different trail running products. So I have an excuse to go shopping all the time.
Yeah, that's right.
There had to be a reason why there are always packages turning up, so I've turned it into a podcast. So Ron can't get shitty anymore.
No, it's work. She keeps telling me it's work.
It's all work. Stop complaining. So I'm going to be reviewing a whole bunch of shoes, packs, nutrition, all sorts of different things that you will find useful in trail running. And obviously I'll put it out as a podcast too, but it might be more helpful to watch it as the YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening for me, because like I said, I have too much spare time on my hands. So
That's right.
yes.
And for me, well, I've been sick this week because I got what Isabel had last
You
week.
got it to like a 20% of
Yeah.
what I had. Yes.
So my running's taken a hit.
Yeah.
I've been tired. I've had a bit of a cough.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
not as bad as
No,
mine. Like a
not
bit
as
of a
bad.
cough.
I've had the
It
tail end of
more
it
it
as well.
morphed into snoring rather than
Yeah,
coughing
that's right,
during
yeah.
the night.
Because I get a blocked nose at the best of times at night time. Well, this one just made it much worse.
Yeah.
Needless to say, Isabel was giving me a lot more pushes and
Elbows to the
elbows.
ribs.
Yeah.
Yes, when he was snorkeling and snoring.
Yeah.
But you're not too bad. But we also kind of figured, because we're going away on the GSER Women Skills Running Camp, but not to worry about your mileage this week, because
Yeah.
you weren't going to get a long run in anyway. So whatever, just let it go.
That's right.
Let it go.
Work on recuperating for
Yeah.
next week
That's right.
because we do have some big runs coming up.
Yes, so I have entered the Marysville 100K You are doing the 50.
That's right.
So hopefully I'll be passing through the start line directly at 7 a.m.
I will be doing the 50 to support Isabel. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not going to be, I'm not
Racing.
doing it to race myself.
No, he's going to wait for me and then go, Alicia,
Yeah, I'm going to wait for you, and then
last
I'm
one's
just
the
gonna-
finish line is a
gonna-
rotten egg.
You'll be at 51 Ks, and I'll be nice and fresh at 1K.
Yeah, so yeah, no, he's gonna. So
yeah.
if I get there early, Brett has kindly said that Ron can start early as long as he lets the people know. And if I get there late, he said Ron can hang around and wait for me to start late. Because, you know, I don't know how long the first 50 is going to take me because it's in the dark.
That's right. It's in the dark. It's, you know, a whole new thing starting
It's
at,
different.
you know, 10 or 11 o'clock at
11
night.
o'clock at night, I've said I'll start.
Yeah,
So I'm giving myself 8 hours to do it. I mean, it won't normally take me that long, but I just think in the dark and me going, starting at 11, I might be a bit slow off the mark.
Yeah.
But we'll see. And that's why I may potentially get there earlier. Who knows? I may have a terrible time out there. I don't think I will. I'm feeling pretty good. Oh my God. Isn't it funny when you get sick and then when you get better, you just feel like the $6 million man. You really do. I've just been feeling so much better. But, you know, I also find that doing the mindset work that I do with clients that I do mindset work with, it rubs off on me.
Yeah.
You know, and I just find that doing that mindset work just makes such a difference. You know, I'm talking more positively to myself, which I've always done, but doing it with clients, you know, we have your Zoom sessions and that sort of thing, and really reinforcing it for them really reinforces it for me because I know all this stuff, which is why I'm, you know, working with clients and helping them. But it's always the way. If you want to learn how to do something really well or become really good at it, teach it.
Yeah.
You know, and as a teacher, I know this because it's just the way it is. And it's not that I don't know it, it's more that, and I know to do it and all that sort of stuff, but it just reinforces it for me as well. So, I mean, I just love doing that work just as much as I love coaching people. I love coaching athletes, but I also love helping athletes with their mindset because honestly, it is such an important part of it. Like, yeah, sure, you can train the physical body to the nth degree, but if you put two people on the start line, equal fitness, but one is mentally strong, the mentally strong one is going to win.
That's right.
You know, whether we're talking win or, you know, beat the other, you know, so it just makes all the difference. And I know a lot of people don't even worry about it, but it's so important. Anyway, so listen to my podcast and better yet, work with me. Like, honestly, I love it and I love helping people and I love seeing them improve, and it absolutely makes my day. So if you're needing help in that area, I would absolutely love to work with you because I just enjoy it so much.
Because as the Yogi Berra said about baseball, it's 90% mental and the other half is physical.
And the rest is in your head.
He said the other half is physical.
Oh, did he?
That was a Yogi Berra saying.
I thought it wasn't the rest is in your head.
No, he said 90% mental and the other half is physical.
I always just think of him as Yogi Bear though. I can't help it. I used to have the Yogi Bear game when I was little. I loved the Yogi Bear game. Anyway, what else are we doing? We're sweeping at Great Ocean Trail Ultra, the first 55K.
Yeah, so if you haven't signed up for it, sign up for it. It's a great ultra. It was my very first 100.
It was my second 100.
In its previous...
Yeah, as Go.
As Go, yeah.
Yeah, it was my second 100. So, yeah, it's a great race.
Love being running down there.
And if you are going there, say hi to us.
Yeah, we'll be on the start line. We won't be on the finish line.
No.
Because we're only sweeping the first half or the first 55Ks.
Yeah, yeah. And then we will be booking it back to
Apollo.
The accommodation to go out for a nice dinner.
Yeah, we'll have earned it.
Yes, that's right. And then 2 weeks after that is Marysville. And then a few weeks after that we'll be pacing my friend Cassie and crewing for her at Coast to Cozzy. Yes. So we're busy.
Yes, we are.
Which is why I thought I'd better start 25 new podcasts. Yes.
So yeah, our next couple of months are booked full.
Yes, I know, and we haven't even got onto the Christmas stuff.
No.
Holy moly, kekakoli. Anyway, that's you know, that's life. I prefer to be busy than sitting around doing nothing. I'm sitting on my ass.
Yeah. So what's the main reason for our podcast, or main subject for our podcast?
I just thought people just wanted to listen to us.
I'm sure they do.
Oh, yeah. All right. So I wanted to talk today about different training principles, I suppose, different types of training and the principles behind it is more what I'm getting at. Because, as ultra runners, we're always looking for ways to improve our performance and endurance. Well, clearly, that's why we train. But understanding the principles behind the different types of training runs is crucial for developing a well-rounded training plan. And I also think even if you're getting coached, whether by me or by someone else, it's really important to understand why you are doing what you're doing. I'm a big believer in that if you understand the why, it actually makes it more effective. Because it stops you from going through the motion. When you understand the why, you don't go through the motions. You're not just, doing whatever. You appreciate it and you go, okay, this is what I'm working on improving at this moment in time.
Mm.
So we're going to break down the science and benefits of intervals, tempo runs, easy runs, and long runs for ultra running. And don't worry about stopping to take notes, because I will also put this out as a blog on my website, Peak Endurance Coaching website. I did quickly want to go over the nutrition checklist. I think people think it's just a checklist. And but I've got lots of information in from the last podcast. If you go for the download, and I've already given a link to the download to all the in an email to all my current email subscribers. So if you're on my email list, you should have got that already. But it's got a daily nutrition checklist for runners, nutrient-dense food, a list of nutrient-dense foods for runners, sample pre-run and post-run snacks, a hydration guide, the tips for addressing the 13 warning signs. So it goes through the warning signs and tips for addressing them. Then talks about tracking and adjusting your nutrition. Okay, so it's not just some little checklist. It's actually an ebook, and with it's not a book, but it's what I'm saying. Anyway, it's got a lot of information in it. So the link is still out there somewhere. I'll post it again. But honestly, download it. And yes, it does put you on the email list, but there's worse things. And because not only do you get the Peak Endurance Coaching email, you also get the Infinite Potential, and you only get one of each a week, and they're not long. I don't send out tomes.
No, but they're full of very helpful and pertinent information.
Yeah, because I'm the same as you. I get 6 million emails, and a lot of them are just waffle and people trying to sell you stuff. These emails are not trying to sell you stuff. I mean, I might say book in a strategy call here and there, but essentially it's just information.
Yeah.
All righty. So what is the first thing we're going to talk about?
We're going to talk about...
We're
going to talk about interval training.
Shall we?
Yes, and that's all about pushing your limits.
Okay, so interval training involves alternating between high intensity efforts and recovery periods, okay? So with, and then we'll go through the different kinds of intervals. The thing with intervals is you want the recovery to be recovery. You don't want it to be... you keep your heart rate up. During the recovery period for intervals, you want that heart rate to drop back down. If you're doing a different kind of interval where you don't make it drop as much, then you're going into tempo land, okay? So that's more tempo workout. So, but we're talking about traditional interval training. The interval is actually the recovery, but whatever. And you want the heart rate to drop. So I encourage my clients, walk. That's fine. I walk. Like if I've pushed it hard during the interval, I'll walk at first, jog a little bit, and then if I see my heart rate creeping up a bit too high, then I'll walk a bit again, and then because you want to be fully recovered. You want the last interval to be your fastest, not your slowest. If you are taking the recovery too hard, your last interval will be your slowest, and that tells me you've paced it wrong. We're trying to teach the body to speed up, not slow down. All right, so did you want to go through the first kind of intervals? Did you need your glasses?
No, I don't. The writing's big enough, thank you.
Okay, you sure, Ronald?
Yes, I am.
McDonald.
So the first interval is short intervals, which are generally from 30 seconds to around 4 minutes. Which
probably more 3, I guess. I shouldn't have written 4. Yeah.
No, most would probably be either 31, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And these improve your VO2 max and running economy, which helps you maintain a faster for longer pace.
Faster pace for longer, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And running economy is your ability to use oxygen at a given pace, okay? It's not about your form. It's not your gait.
Yeah.
It means you're an economical runner, as in, you move fast for using as little energy and all that sort of stuff. And I do sometimes prescribe 4-minute VO2 intervals for clients but only a little bit of that, because it's quite hard work to hold that pace, because VO2 pace is hard. It's, 90, sometimes up to 95%, it'll feel like RPE, rate of perceived exertion. So these are hard. These short intervals are hard. And generally they should have equal recovery. So if it's 30-second interval, it'll be 30 seconds recovery. 1 minute, 1 minute, 2 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 3 minute. A lot of people do a 3-minute interval and think, oh, well, I only need 2 minutes recovery. Well, then you've changed the workout. It's no longer the traditional VO2 max interval workout. You need, like I said, to get the heart rate back down, because what we're looking for is the heart rate high, low, high, low. So we're training the heart. And if you just keep it, with a hard recovery, you don't get the spikes. And so therefore the workout has completely changed.
Right. And that becomes a tempo, which we'll talk about.
Which we'll talk about later.
Shortly.
Yeah.
It's a whole different kind.
And it's really good. Interval workouts are really good for really building that fitness. And just because you're an ultra runner doesn't mean you shouldn't be building that high-end fitness, because building your running economy helps with all the distances and everything. So really do that. The long intervals are 4 to 10 minutes. Now, 10 minutes is getting into lactate, which is why these enhance your lactate threshold, which allows you to run at a high intensity before fatigue sets in. So it's still kind of intervals. I do when I'm just introducing tempo runs to clients, even if they've done them before, but after a block of shorter intervals and I'm reintroducing that, we'll start with 3 times 8 minutes at tempo and then go to 2 times 10 minutes and 2 times 15, and then we'll build up. So there's still kind of intervals there, but we'll get more into tempo runs. Don't you worry about that. Next up
is hill repeats, which are my favourite.
I take it that's sarcasm.
Yes. They're perfect for building strength and power, which are essential for tackling those tough climbs in trail ultras.
Yeah, so we're talking more here short. There's a number of different things you can do. There are short hill sprints, which are like 10 seconds, 12 seconds. And once again, you need probably 3 minutes recovery, because you are meant to go flat chat, right? But a lot of clients don't like doing these because it's a bit boring or whatever. So I don't do a lot of that. But that's more for building strength. That's almost different to this. These intervals that we're talking about here, hill repeats, is probably getting to more 1 to 3 minutes.
And they're on runnable.
Yeah, runnable hills. The short ones are on really steep hills. Yeah. But these other ones are on, like I did. If you're in Melbourne and around the Dandies, you will know Baselinda Road, beautiful douche grade hill. So I do 3-minute intervals up that.
Yeah, it's a good
trail, dirt
road that goes for 3 or 4 Ks.
What's on? It's 6K.
Yeah, but it gets flat at the top.
Yeah, I suppose.
So, so you can really, stick to the road and get in a good workout.
Yeah, and you jog back down. So once again, easy peasy recovery. Like I walk at first after doing those as well, because running hard uphill is hard, funnily enough. So that's hill repeat. So intervals push your body beyond its comfort zone, stimulating adaptations that improve your overall running performance. So they are important even for ultra runners. Ultra runners think, oh no, what's the point in doing a 2-minute interval? Well, there is a point. Yeah. And certainly in the programs we program, we go from least specific to most specific. So from the shorter intervals right up until before racing, you're doing steady state runs and tempo intervals and all that sort of stuff, and threshold runs, and, more race specific.
That's right. Yep.
Alrighty, tempo run.
Tempo runs. So tempo runs, basically you're finding your sustainable pace.
Yeah.
So extending out a little bit longer, holding it, so you're not running as fast.
But it's still hard. I like to call it comfortably uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's uncomfortable, but you're not dying. You can live with it.
Yeah.
You technically should be able to live with that pace for an hour.
Yeah.
Right? Without feeling that you're going to die.
Yeah, that's right. And if, basically what Isabel always says, you should finish it knowing that if you had to, you could do a little bit more.
Yeah. Same with the intervals, that if you finish the interval session, you could do another one. Always, the purpose of training is not to crush you and physically destroy you. Okay? The purpose of training is to break you down a little bit to bring you back stronger. But if you absolutely crush and destroy yourself, you're not going to come back stronger. You're just going to come back weaker.
Or injured.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
So they're typically run just below your lactate threshold. No, of course, we're not doing lactate testing out there. Certainly with us, with VDOT, we do a 3K time trial with people, which then gets their paces. And then we can work out what the lactate. That's why it's good to have a coach who actually knows what they're doing, because otherwise you're just guessing. And luckily we've got an app that does the maths for us, and so it's easy peasy. And that's what time trials are for. But yeah, I generally, I mean, it says 20 to 40 minutes. I will give, sustained runs with a 5K marathon portion in the middle with some threshold before and after it. That's steady. The marathon pace isn't really tempo, but once you've had tempo before and after, it kind of, it kind of simulates that a bit. But, generally I go for maximum about 25 minutes with athletes, mainly because people are time crunched and they don't have time for
that's right.
40-minute tempo with warm up and cool down.
That's right, because you do have to.
It's not just a tempo.
Warm up and cool down.
That's right. Especially for something like that long. Yeah.
So basically, tempo runs improve your body's ability to clear lactate, allowing you to maintain a faster pace for longer periods during your ultra runs, races. Yeah, runs and races, essentially. Yeah. So then we have, and I've got my notes here, of course. Basically, I've just got the blog that I've written. Easy runs are building your aerobic base. So a lot of people think, junk miles. No. Easy runs form a foundation of any ultra running training plan. These should make up the majority of your weekly mileage and be performed at a conversational pace. So, generally work off 75 to 80%.
Oh no, it's
easy runs?
60 to 70.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 60 to 70.
Because that doesn't include the long run.
No, 75 to 80 is tempo kind of pace. So 60 to 70.
No, not effort.
Sorry.
Of your running.
Okay. Yeah. Well, basically, we'll get to that. What your breakdown will be. We'll get to that. Sorry, I misunderstood. I was thinking 75 to 80. What?
Conversational pace. You can, the idea of that is if you are running beside someone, you could have a conversation with them.
Without gasping.
Yeah, maybe take a couple of breaths in between sentences, but not,
once again, not dying.
Not one word at a time.
Yeah. So they build your aerobic base, improve fat burning, and enhance your body's ability to handle long distance, because they're the ones that are strengthening your tendons and ligaments. And that's the thing. Some people think, I'll just do my 2 quality sessions and a long run a week. Well, you're heading to injury city there, because you need I'm always banging on about consistency. You need the consistency to act as a prophylactic against injury, so that you can not get injured in your tendons and ligaments. They strengthen them. That's what they're for. Alrighty, so keep the easy runs.
Keep them easy.
Keep them easy and keep them in the program.
And once again, if you're, go to the gym,
run there.
And
I also think you should only go to the gym when you're doing interval sessions.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I meant to say is easy. Keep your easy days easy and your hard days hard. So if you're going to the gym, do that on the days that you do your workout. Yes, yeah. So
preferably after the run, run in the morning and do weights in the evening. When I had kids, I still got kids. When they were kids, they still are, even though they're grown up. When they were little, and I was working full time, I would go get up at the crack before dawn, do my run, go to gym, come home, right? So, there's always ways of making these things work. Rightio, long runs.
Our favourite, the ones we live for.
Oh, we do.
Yes, we live for spending all day Saturday out on the trails.
Yeah, and coming home and having breakfast at 5.
Yeah, that's right. Coming home, having breakfast, and then 2 hours later having dinner. So long runs are the bread and butter of ultra running. These runs should gradually increase in duration throughout your training cycle, sometimes lasting several hours.
Yeah, just
for us, it does last.
Not sometimes. Long runs improve your endurance, of course. Yeah. Teach your body to use fat as fuel. Even if you're eating, it is still teaching your body to use fat as fuel. I'm telling you right now, there is no way you are consuming as much as you're burning. and they prepare you mentally for the challenges of race day. This is, I think, the main reason why long runs are important, is because they prepare you mentally. Because honestly, the amount of sufferfests we've had out there, we would be the most mentally strong athletes on the planet.
Yeah, that's right. But you know, same thing. We will go out for a 25k run, and by 20k's we're going, oh God, when is this going to be over? The next week we'll go out for a 50k run, and
then we get to 20k.
We get to 20k's and it's like, oh, this is fine. And then when we get to 45k's, we're like, oh my God, when is this going
to be? It's like your body knows what you're going to do.
It's so your body, you mentally, you just know, well, it's no point in me looking for the end at 20k's because I've still got another 30k's to go.
Exactly.
So the tricks your mind plays on you is quite impressive.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But and that's why you've got to do them, because to beat those mind tricks.
Yeah. Because the last thing you want to be doing is going to a race where at 20k's of a 50k race you go, oh,
or 100 miler.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So a well-structured ultra running training plan incorporates all of these elements. Right. So 1 to 2, preferably 2 interval or tempo sessions a week. 1 long run a week, unless, you know, as you're getting closer to a mile, for instance, you might do 2 long runs, but they wouldn't be both 50k's, you know. A couple of back-to-back runs, you might do a 50 and a 20 kind of thing. And the remaining runs are easy runs. So that's all you need to know, you know. 2 intervals, so that's basically 2 interval or tempo sessions, 1 long run, that's 3. There's 4 days left of the week, and you want to have a rest day, so 3 days easy running.
Yeah.
Easy. All right. So the key to successful ultra running and your training is consistency and gradual progression. Like if you've never done intervals before, start off with a few. Don't go, right, 3-minute intervals, let's go, 10. You know, start off with 3 or 4. All right. Listen to your body and adjust your training as needed. Listen to your body. That's so important.
Yeah, that's right. And, you know, by understanding and implementing those training principles, you'll be well on your way to your next ultra. So, you know, it's all geared towards running, you know, a successful ultra, which not only means running your best personal time, but having fun doing it.
Yeah, and that's it. You want it to be fun. I mean, we say, oh my God, the long run, but we have fun.
We do. I mean, we do it because we love it.
Yeah, and to be fair, we often, like, pardon me. You want to do your long run and, you know, focus on doing your long run, but we often stop and look at things you know, like, don't be too serious.
Yeah.
Like you know, running's important, but also stop and smell the roses occasionally, which I legitimately do. I love picking lavender and sniffing lavender.
You love to do that. And I mean, also when we're running along, you know, whether it's a bit, you know, because we tend to run through the streets to get to the mountains here. You know, we'll be running on, we'll see a house that's interesting, and we'll stop and have a look at the house, you know, just because it's interesting, you know. That's kind of why we do it.
Yeah, because you see things when you're out on running that you wouldn't see when you're in a car.
Yeah.
So, you know, have a bit of fun with it, and yes, it's serious, but also it's not serious. And yes, it's important, but also it should still be lighthearted.
Yeah.
It is your hobby. It's not your job. And even if it is your job, you don't want to be miserable at your job all the time, do you?
No, that's right.
You know, you want to enjoy it. So it's the same with running. Even if you are an elite athlete and this is your career, you want to bloody enjoy it. Yeah. So, you know,
you're not gonna be at it for 20 years if it's
that's right.
Sufferfest.
It's a chore and oh God. Oh, bloody running again. Whatever, you know, enjoy it, love it as much as we do.
Yes, that's right.
All right, and on that note, we are going to have some dinner soon. I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Very, very hungry.
Yeah.
And yes, so thanks for joining us once again. We really appreciate it. Haven't seen any reviews yet. No, so oh dear.
Remember, if you see us at any of the races coming up, or you know, whether it's Marysville or Gao or Great Ocean Ultra
Trail or something,
come and say hello.
Well, or
if you're running in the Downs and you see us running past,
say hello. And follow us, Peak Endurance Coaching, Peak Endurance Podcast, Infinite Potential Coaching. Follow me there. I put out daily videos. I know you don't see enough of me on Peak Endurance Coaching. I know you want to see more. But I do have a lot of handy dandy mindset tips on there. So honestly, follow me on Infinite Potential Coaching. I think, on Instagram. Look me up. You'll see my noggin there. Because I'd love you to follow me because I love to help people, and that's what I can only do if people follow me there. Alrighty, have a great weekend. Enjoy your training, enjoy your running, and good luck with it all.
Bye.
Bye.